Hi guys, it's Becky, and I made some earrings last night. I made a whole bunch of earrings, but one of them I decided that I wanted to make a necklace to go with, and it's this one that I made, and I'll put a link to that video down below if you want to see how I made this earring. But I made this using some of the chain that came in the bargain bead box for October. That was the Falling Leaves bargain bead box. It had the rose gold color chain and findings, and there were these beautiful jonquil colored, jonquil AB colored leaf beads that came in that box. And then in the companion bundle that I purchased from the sister site, Bead Box Bargains, there were these barrel beads that were the exact same color. So I used some of these and some of the chain and some head pins, and I made myself some earrings with them. And I wanted to make a simple but understated but also kind of elegant necklace to go with those earrings. And so I'm doing that using, again, some of that same chain that came in that box. And I cut 8 5 segment or 5 link lengths to go between some beaded beads, and then I grabbed 5 of these barrel beads, and these I believe are still available on their site to purchase if you wanted to get some. I might be wrong, but I believe they are. And then I've got 4 of these leaf beads, and I've just made some links with some simple loops on these. And I'll show you how I did that in just a minute after I go over the rest of these bits. So I'm going to use this for the back of the necklace, and then we're going to build the rest of the necklace along the front with that. And then these toggle clasps, they came in the box, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then I grabbed some jump rings for attaching those, and so we'll get started. I'm just going to show you with one of the links here. The tools that I'm using are some flush cutters, some round nose pliers, and some chain nose pliers. It's pretty simple. You don't need a lot of tools to be able to do this. And I am, however, using some 20 gauge craft wire in a rose gold colorway in order to do this. Now, when I do it, I just usually start from one end and work all the way down to the bottom with it. So I'm just going to grab this because I had cut it off and it wasn't flush when I cut it. So I'm going to cut it flush now with these so that it is flatter there on the bottom. And then I'll always start with a loop. So I'm just going to make a loop around here so you can see that. And I'm just going to close it up and bring it in, pushing with my thumb against it just to get that end closer. See how it's kind of tilted off that way? Kind of looks like a Q, or if I turn it around, a P. I'm going to stick my my round nose pliers back in there and just do a little squeeze right here at the bottom where it joins that, and that tips it back a little ways so that it's more lollipop shaped on the end there. And that's the first part. That's my first simple loop. I'm going to just bloop, bloop, bloop it with my chain nose pliers just to flatten it out a little bit. And it also work hardens the loop. And then I can put my bead on. And often if I'm working from the spool, I'll put the bead on before I do my first simple loop. All right, so now I've got my loop on this end. I'm going to need to make a loop on the other end. And so I'm going to just use my thumb and bend that wire over the top of my bead. So that's kind of at a 90-degree angle from the bead. And then I usually will measure with the side of my finger. If you want to use a measuring tool, it's usually about a centimeter. That's going to give you a good amount of wire to make your second loop with. Then I'm going to cut with the flush end close to the bead and grab my round nose pliers. And the reason I like using round nose pliers for simple loops versus I like to use 6-step bail making pliers for wrapped loops is because I usually am estimating the size and I can slide it a little further down the barrel if I need to make a bigger loop, or a little further up the barrel if I need to make a smaller loop. So I can always get a loop that's the right size for the wire that I have available. And there, I made my little loop. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to be swinging open these simple loops by twisting them open and then attaching a chain and closing them up. I'm going to build both sides at the same time. This guy I think is going to be my central one. Actually, no, I think I want that one for my central one because it kind of has a better looking loops on either side, and it's going to be front and center. So yeah, this is a pretty simple design. It's fairly easy to make if you can make a simple loop with some craft wire. And you don't even have to use craft wire for this to make these links. If you have eye pins, you can make links the same way. All right, so next I'm going to want my leaf bead. And I'm going to attach a leaf bead to both ends of this chain. But while I've got this leaf link in my hands, I'm going to swing this open and put another piece of chain on this end. And let me get another leaf on this side. And I've got my pointy end pointing towards the middle. So on this side, it's pointing this way, so I want this next one to be pointing the other way. Close that up. And while I've got this in my hand, I'll attach my other chain. It's not going to take very long for us to assemble this because there aren't that many links. Most of the work and most of the length, most of the work is already done because I created the links, and most of the length is going to come from this chain. But now we've got these beads periodically along the chain, adding some sparkle, adding some light and warmth. Well, I've got this in my hand. I'll add the next length. And then on this other side, I've already got this attached to this one, so I'm just going to attach it right here. All right. This is a very large loop. Larger than my other ones. And that's why I like using the 6-step bail making pliers, because then I can be consistent with my loops. But I like having the freedom to change my loop size as I go. So I'm going to add another leaf to each side, and then more chain. All right, so let's get this one open. I guess I could have these pointing out and away, but I don't really feel like changing it up right here and right now. Like I said, this is going to be a simple design, an easy design. a real win for a Friday. And then I can wear these with my earrings, and it'll be a whole set. Come on. There we go. There's that side. And then I just need these two on the other side. Whoop. Don't drop it, Becky. Sometimes I think I just need a simple project, and that's what this is. But even though it is a quick and simple project, I think with the color of these beads and the sparkliness that I have and the special findings with this rose gold color, that it's got kind of a bigger impact. All right, so here we are. We have all of our links attached. And now I just need this on the back of the chain. I'm going to find the middle of this chain. Just going to use my leftover wire to string both ends of this chain on. I'm just straightening it out too. So both ends of the chain on, and that way I can find the middle. All right, and it looks like there's two links in the middle, so let's just get rid of both of those. And now both of these links are the same. Wait a minute. One of them's longer than the other. I should have double checked. No, wait, no, they're the same length. They're the same length. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so now I can go ahead and attach each of these lengths of chain to this. And while I was cutting up my little pieces of chain, I kept thinking of this song. I like, cut my chain into pieces. These are my necklace parts. Anyway, parody is fair use, by the way, just in case you're curious. But yeah, so that's what has been in the back of my head while I was making this. It might not be a song that y'all are all familiar with, but I know some of you are. You'll know what I'm singing about. All right. Now, I'm gonna open up my jump ring and get my clasp attached, and it's gonna be done basically. Like I said, quick and easy. I already did the links ahead of time because, you know, once you've seen somebody do one link, you've seen them all, right? Okay, close that. And for my next one, but yeah, if you haven't had a chance to watch my necklace video, I did that one yesterday, and it's a lot of fun. I like doing those where I just grab a bunch of beads and then make like different earrings. Sorry, did I say necklace? I meant earrings. If you haven't seen my earring video, go ahead and watch that. This was one of my favorites from that that one. I mean, I have several, but I do really love that. And it's hard to see it as clearly with the this light background. So let me, when I'm done with this, I'm gonna lay this on my black desktop, and hopefully that'll give it some pop. You might be able to see it easier and better. Let me move this out of the way. Because it's about the same color as, and it's a really, really light color necklace, and I really wanted you guys to be able to see it better. There we go. That gives it a bit more of a pop. You can see that color a little bit easier on that dark wood. Yeah, I like that better. That's better for you. And there's the other one. And there we go. So now I have an entire set. And yeah, I made it in 2 different days, but there we go. I'm happy with that. That was from the bargain bead box for October. And I don't know if y'all have been getting your shipping notices. I haven't got my shipping notice yet for the next one, but hopefully soon. They do have a whole bunch of Christmas stuff in their shop right now too. So I don't know if I'm going to be getting some now or if I'm going to wait for a couple of weeks. We'll see what I do. But I've been really enjoying this bead box. And if you wanted to subscribe, it is one of the I guess better values out there because it's not super expensive, but you still get a lot of really good beads in that bead box. And if you want to subscribe, I have a coupon code now, so you can get $2 off your first box, and I will put that in the description as well. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye!